Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at the trade desk. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I'll most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. And in the case of this chart, it's really an update because we did cover it before, and overall we are looking here at a larger initial 5-wave move to the upside. As a wave 1 we are looking for a 3-wave correction here in a wave 2 into the area of support between the $29 level all the way down to the $5.4 level, from which we expect to start another 5-wave move to the upside, ideally within a wave 3, but at least we get a larger ABC movement, if not a larger impulse to the upside from this structure. Now, with this said, in this area we were actually considering in a couple of ideas further possible extensions higher, and we had here this initial 5-wave move to the downside, from which we actually even had a potential 5-wave move to the upside, which wasn't necessarily suggesting that we should expect a breakout, but it was suggesting that we have a good chance of forming at least an extension within this wave B. But we did face quite a severe correction in a very sharp movement to the downside. We have basically overnight, and we did not manage to form here a larger ABC movement. And then internally, within this overall wave C to the downside, we were tracking a potential 1-2 setup, but there has been so much weakness that we did not even manage to get here into the area of resistance before continuing in its downtrend. Now, this is uncommon, although it is not impossible to have a 1-2 setup or something like this where we don't actually get to the area of resistance. It just really signifies that there is at the moment a lot of weakness on this chart, but however we did have here the area of support in orange that was sustaining this plan to continue within a higher movement, either within a larger wave C or at least a larger extension within this wave 2. Now, this failed, and clearly it did manage to push in a quite direct fashion afterwards, and as we are tracking within this wave C to the downside, an ending diagonal, I am looking here at an ABC movement in a wave 1, we have here an ABC movement in a wave 2, and I'm tracking now an ABC movement in a wave 3. We can also look here at some ideal targets for this overall downtrend. So for the overall wave C, we are looking here at an ideal target at the 100% extension of the wave A, which is around the $27.7 level. But if we take a look, considering all this weakness in this retracement in wave 2, we can see that the ideal target for the wave 3 is way beyond that of the wave C, and it is the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, the $20 level. Now, this is more likely to be relevant than the actual target of the wave C, and it's pretty much a direct factor of how much weakness there has been within this wave 2 correction. And overall, within this wave C, while we expect to form a 5-wave move to the downside, I would not necessarily be too surprised if other patterns emerge from this area, because it is possible for us to be tracking this as an ABC movement and track a larger WXY correction, in which case we could see an earlier bottom. But right now the focus remains that we form this as a wave C to the downside, where we expect to form the larger potential bottom within the wave 2, from which point we will start looking for a potential initial 5-wave move to the upside within the larger wave 3. Now again, this correction could extend, as I always tell you. This doesn't need to be the actual bottom within the wave 2, it could be just a larger ABC movement in of itself, but once we have the 3-wave pattern to the downside, we do have a complete count that could allow this wave 2 to be complete. And internally within this area, we are also tracking this as an ABC movement, and in the current structure, I could believe that we have already formed a bottom within the wave A. Although this is not necessary, I could find even more than one ways to actually still see extensions lower. But right now we will be focusing on the idea that we have here a 1, 2, and 3 complete. We have here a wave 4, and we will be tracking potential extensions within this wave 5 and the potential bottom being already in place for the wave A. And in this idea, we have here an ABC movement for which we can track a larger area of resistance for such an idea. And this would be at the levels between the 38.2% retracement at the $42.5 all the way up to the $51 level, where a break above the 78.6% retracement, a sustained break above it, would signal that this structure is probably playing out within a different pattern, could be a large initial wave onto the downside. Yeah, we may need to be prepared for a larger correction, yeah, quite substantial even, and who knows, maybe, possibly even a more significant bottom within an overall larger and more complex correction in this overall wave 2. Yeah, this wave A may have only bottomed here, in that case maybe just something like a WXY. In the end, we don't need to focus too much on this idea, because we have not yet broken this level of resistance. We don't need to be concerned about such interpretation. And right now, even this wave A may still extend lower. Now, as I was mentioning, right now we are looking at the potential 5-wave move to have developed to the downside within this wave A, and I could see many ways it could actually still even extend, as I was mentioning, but we are focusing here just on this ABC movement if we really are to see an extension. It will have an identical area of support within the other interpretations as well. And then we are watching here the levels between the $37.6 all the way up to the $39.8 level. And we will be tracking this in yellow as an internal ABC structure that could actually provide us an additional low within this overall white wave A. And in this case, we have so far formed already the 3-wave move to the upside. We don't need any additional highs, and we pushed perfectly into the 61.8% retracement before finding a more significant top in this area, where already we have seen resistance at the previous mathematical levels here on the 4-hour time frame, where only a few weeks have managed to get past past the first level of resistance. And then of the 50% retracement also, we did get a little bit of struggle and slowdown before ultimately we got stopped at this last level. Now, this may signify that there is already a top and that a wave C may be unfolding right now, but it's on a small time frame, and we should give it some time to actually develop its pattern. And yeah, overall, I wouldn't necessarily be looking for a position in this area anyway. The overall trade setup that I am looking for on this chart remains the larger wave 2 area of support between the $29 all the way down to the $5.4 level, when this is an actual trade setup. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.